Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good this morning? Y'all know what it is. We're here and ready to go. It's your boys Trey, my man Bishop, and this is you know what it is. E2G presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. Fall in with us as we get ready to talk about some of the hot topics this morning in or around the NFL. Perspectives coming from us, two veterans, retired veterans from the U.S. Army. Y'all know what it is, what we represent for all armed forces. Bishop, what's good with you this morning, brother? How you go? How was your day?
WGO, WGO. What's going on? How y'all living, man? It's your boy, the Bishop, the GOAT, all of the above, man. For those that know me by Zalos, because of Row 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. How y'all doing? It is hump day in the building, man. How y'all living? I'm doing great, Trey. I had a good Tuesday. Was playing some catch up on a few shows here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I think my Fire Stick had went out on one of our TVs, so I had missed a lot of shows because I wasn't able to get the Fire Stick to work. So we ordered another one, hooked it up, and I was able to catch up on some shows. And then I watched one show that I mainly wanted to catch up or wanted to see last night was that the Murder Inc. story. So I was
Oh,
able
I
to
completely forgot about it. I'll have to go back and check that out.
yeah, the Murder Inc. story. So I watched that. So yeah, man, I had a pretty good evening, man. Got on 2K, ran some 2K, ran some Call of Duty and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a pretty decent Tuesday, man. Not too bad. How about yours? How was yours? You said y'all had bowling yesterday, right, or something?
We had they was continuing on with the bowling season, like in the third week of our intramural bowling season, in which we were it was all right. It was pretty good. The number one team fell. From
Oh wow.
interesting enough, yeah, it was only a couple of pins, but they only failed because they had to use one of their players, their teammates didn't come, and they had to bowl using his average. And of course, for a person not
And
being there, they had to use the average. I deduct the 10 point pins, and so that 10 points made a difference because they lost by like 9 pins. So they
oh wow.
didn't get his. They didn't get his without, and that was 20 points lost. So for each frame, I mean not for each frame, for each game. So they went
Mm,
from being the number one team to fall into the number possibly the number four team, I think, or
mm,
number three team. So, but I mean they have opportunity to get back in. Two seal 3 weeks left. Two
mm,
with two games. I mean with 2 weeks of games, and then the the um the fourth game, I mean the sixth week would be them. Separation would be a separation round, and potentially I don't know where they'll be at, but they probably be within striking distance, so they earn some points, earn some pins, and maybe end up earning the first place, or at least a top three finish. So, and it actually is uh Tiffany is her team.
it was her team.
Yeah, it's her team. They lost.
She wasn't there.
No, she was there. It's
Oh,
just like it was. She was there. It just wasn't their person. They was there. So the Tiffany's team won. China's his team is is currently, I think, maybe in second place now
Tiffany
because of that.
team. So Tiffany team was number one until
Mm, until
until
last night.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh
they
wow.
lost. They lost to because they lost to another active duty team. And the dude was
Okay.
like, he's like, man, he's like, yeah, he's like, man, they on the road. He's like, he saw the dude thought they was going to win, and so he
Mhm.
was like, and then look up and but she gave me the scorecard. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I thought y'all. She's like, yeah, because I was like, okay, I got it. And then of course,
Oh, okay.
so it was interesting. So, but like they're not out. And like, but like I said, and then China's his team is there's only two like veteran teams. I mean, retiree teams that's in it. So
Uh-huh.
she's on one team and then he's on the other. And
Oh,
so
okay. So I was about to ask. I was wondering if it was co-ed or it was
yeah,
just.
yeah, it's cool. It's yeah, it's small. It's mixed. So, but yeah, it was saying checking out and watching some of the bowl where you can see like, oh, there's some actual bowlers in this joint, and then other people who you just see, you can tell they do like I do, just throw the ball down the lane. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, so that was a night, basically.
Okay.
Uh,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
um, so like you said, a lot of stuff going on. Uh, in as we always say in sports, it's interesting how every day. you go and leave up off here, and then we look around, and bam, it's something new that's that's to be talked about. Sometimes a couple of things that are something that which we discussed. Of course, we all know Serena Williams. While we was on the show, the Bishop surprised you with it. I thought he was on some other stuff. Well, he was. He just wasn't on at that particular time. But but of course, like Serena Williams yesterday retired. You know what I'm saying? Calling it quits. Leaving after, as we said, after the U.S. Open, she's done.
Right.
So she one more hoorah. She gets opportunity to add to it. Is it a Kobe send off? Is it going? I mean, it's not a Kobe send off, but is it going to be one of them Kobe-esque moments where she gets in her last W? She gets in her last attempt. She gets the eluded win that she's been trying to get. Does she able to pull that off? As we know, 73 single titles, 23
Mm-hmm.
Grand Slam single titles, 14 Grand Slam double titles, 4 Olympic medals, a total of $94 million in prize money to win. Would you say that is clearly, without a doubt, legend-esque? Does
Oh,
that
that's
put
the
her
GOAT. Like I said, I
the
definitely
GOAT?
put her GOAT. Yeah, she's definitely GOAT status. That is definitely you cannot ignore the fact that that's straight GOAT numbers.
Mm-hmm.
GOAT numbers without question. If you don't see that as GOAT numbers, something wrong with you. Completely. There's got to be something completely wrong with you if you don't see those as GOAT numbers. And I feel like she definitely is going to go down as one of the greatest women who ever played the game of tennis.
Do you think she Are we going to where? What's good, Eric? Good morning, sir. How you doing?
What up,
How you
Eric? What
doing?
up?
How you doing? So, do you think that puts her in the Do you think that puts her not just women, and we take the gender, the direct gender, and just put her as a GOAT in general? That puts her in the talks with Brady, Jordan, Tiger. Um, who else can we say? Goats. Um, just in the sport, like, do you think she's a GOAT in tennis, or do we have to specify that she's a GOAT, the women's tennis GOAT, or can we just say she's a GOAT in tennis in general?
I don't know if you label it like that. I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. That's a good question. I don't know if you can label it like that because if you can't use or allow, well, if we as
Mm-hmm.
analysts
Mm-hmm.
and broadcasters and stuff won't allow a transgender to cross into a female's realm, or yeah, because males only can cross. There ain't no female gonna cross over
So
into
you
a male.
basically need to keep it with the specification of gender.
Yeah, yeah, I
Women
feel like
GOAT,
that's
men GOAT.
yeah, I feel like that's only fair. Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, if you
And that's
can't
what
do it,
Eric's saying. Go to women's tennis.
yeah, you can't, you can't be wanting to do it one way, but you can don't won't allow it in another spectrum. So yeah, totally agree.
Hmm. Okay. I think at some point we're gonna have to really take a delve and take a look at to what distinguishes a GOAT. Like, what is the GOAT? Like, is GOAT status? Is that one of the prerequisites? A championship? Is it multiple
I thought we talked
championships?
about
Is it a
this.
bunch of? Did we go in depth?
Yeah, I
I
thought
don't
we
think. Did we? I don't remember.
I
Because
thought
I'm
me,
thinking like,
you, I think it was
and
like
Ron.
five of us. Yeah, Ron. I think it was like five of us actually spoke
I
on it
think you
in
did. I
regards
think you
to.
did.
Yeah, we was like, what puts you in GOAT status? Like, what do you have to accomplish in your career of whatever sport you played in to solidify you as a GOAT? And I think we was
But
talking.
championship, you think championship has to
Yeah,
be it?
yeah. I think we said championship has to. You have to have that on your resume. You have to have
Multiple.
multiple. Yeah, not one.
Multiple. It
I
has to
don't
be
think it can
multiple.
be one. It has to be multiple. It has to be more. What's up, Zach? What up? What up? What up, MA? Yeah, I think you have to have
What's
multiples, bro.
good? What's
And
good, man?
that's what we said. To be considered a GOAT, you have to have won multiple. And like, and I'm when I say
And some
multiple, it can,
individual
and I don't
trophies.
yeah, and some individual accolades, correct. And I don't think you can. And two is not a number. I don't think two don't. I don't think two could put
Wow,
you in.
no,
No, no.
wow. You
In
serious?
my in my opinion, because think about all the GOATs we're talking about. Think about all the ones you just named: Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams. Those people have, as you just read her, they have multiple wins. Michael Jordan has 6 championships. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Like, how you gonna put somebody in there with 2 and say, "Oh, you're a GOAT"? That don't fit. That don't fit, bro.
But so okay. But so and it's funny that you just said that. Let's take, like yesterday we was talking about Serena. You know, say is that chick, right? And you know what I'm saying. But before Serena, it was Venus. It was Marta de Lobo. It was like of different people. They
That's what
all
I'm saying.
have accolades too. Like they have Serena. I mean, Venus has multiple slams. Double. Some of the double titles is her sister. Her and her sister. So she got 14. I got 14. So it's like when you talk about that. So
Okay, let me ask you this.
is Venus a
Let me.
goat?
I feel where you're going with it. I
Okay.
see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. But let's add this to the equation. Let me ask you this, and I see what Eric Small said. It's a career of greatness. A lot of people have, and thank you. I'm gonna go back to that. It's a career of greatness. Remember that part. A career of greatness. A lot of people have a couple good seasons, but when you consistently winning and dominating your sport, you are the GOAT. That part right there, Eric Small couldn't have said it no better because where I'm about to go with this.
Okay.
Now, between Serena and Venus, you right. They have multiple wins together as sisters, as individuals, so forth and so on. My question to you, Trey, to be considered as a GOAT, do you have to have years of play? So, in other words,
consistent,
being consistent, being like he said, a career of greatness. So, like unlike Venus, Serena has been consistent through her 20-something years.
When Serena came on the scene and started becoming the dominant force, it was no longer a back and forth. Venus disappeared. Yeah.
Right. She ran with it for years, all the way up until now. Michael Jordan ran with it for years until he retired. Tom Brady ran with it for years, all the way up until now. He's still playing. Do you, in your opinion, feel like you have to have a certain amount of years in the sport, as a career player, to be considered
E2G, time and greatness?
Yeah,
time and greatness.
Absolutely.
Time and greatness. I get what y'all saying. Like you said,
I think that's what the difference between Serena and Venus. That's why I've asked that, because that's why I say that's why I don't think Venus can be put in GOAT status, because of the fact, like you say, TIG, time and greatness.
So when you look at it and you put it like that, because Eric brought up a good point when he said a lot of people have a couple good seasons. So and that is so true, because it's going to come up again when we talking about when we discuss something later on, which that was a question I was going to ask. Does it? I don't know. So, but what is that? But what is that number when we talk about the time of greatness? Because it's because now when I was talking, I thought about, I was like, yo, like some of these people have the same. Have accolades, like for real, but like you said, you can't have. I don't think 2 MCs can't occupy the same space at the same time. So you can't have 2 GOATs going at it. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, is there only is it the tier 1 where only one person sits on the top and everyone else is vying to get to the top to knock them? You know what I'm saying? Because and can you be knocked from GOAT status? Once you're GOAT status, is it forever? You know what I'm saying? You wear it like you can. You wear it like a tattoo. You get a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like you brand you've been branded by everybody as the GOAT, and it's over. Can you be knocked from GOAT status? I think you can when you start thinking about, okay, when people start it, but only in the sense of PEDs and all that type of stuff. When people start thinking about, did you cheat or was you doing something extra? Like, does that take GOAT status away from you? But Eric, like going off in the comments, he said, "Once a GOAT, always a GOAT. Time can't count it.
Some sports last longer. Barry Sanders is a GOAT with his short. No, he's not.
That point,
he's not.
What? Gert? Oh my God! You can't be serious. I almost walked up all here, bro. You can't say that.
you can't say he's the greatest. So listen. So okay. So listen. My thing about this, Eric and Savage, boy, he about to kill me over this one. He
What,
about to kill me. Listen,
bro? You can't say that. You killing me.
so in other
Barry's
words,
not the GOAT.
hold on. So what you're saying? Hold on. So let me ask you this. So in basketball, because it's crazy we going through this, but this is
Wow, because I was about to say because he's giving us that conversation we just having is what what we're getting for to get now.
But you just made a valid point, right? You just said can a GOAT be dethroned, right? Okay, so let me ask you this: can a GOAT be dethroned?
I would like to say no.
See,
but
okay.
I'm trying to, in my mind, what's going on in my mind, I'm trying to figure out where's he going with this before I really answer this question.
No, you can't do that. I'm telling you, you can't do that. So I'm gonna go to this right here. Where is it at? Where he said right here? I like this. Was that Eric Small too? Okay, so remember this what he just said. So and you said no, he can't be dethroned. So if he can't be dethroned, how's Tom Brady to go?
Because of everything he's done, his accolades, and he's like seven Super Bowls.
If you're saying on once a GOAT, always a GOAT, if you can't be dethroned,
once you earn it, you earn it. It's yours.
Right. Okay, so you saying so you can have multiple GOATs in other words in one sport?
So
because I thought it was the greatest of all time.
But like we've talked about before, when we bring up the conversation in LeBron and Jordan and Kobe, they said those are GOATs in their era. They're the era, they're GOATs. But a lot of people just sit and believe that Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. But it could be challenged. I think that could be challenged. I think Kobe was a GOAT, but I don't think he's the greatest of all time. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? But you have someone in.
So wait. You think he's wait? That don't even make sense, Trey.
He's not the GOAT. He's not the great. I'm sorry. He's not the overall basketball GOAT. Is what I'm saying. Like I realize what I just said. So I think Kobe is a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He could be a GOAT, but he can't be the overall GOAT. Like he can't dethrone Jordan. Kobe can't dethrone Jordan. Is what I'm saying.
But Tom Brady can dethrone Barry Sanders. See where I'm going? And not only that,
maybe running backs. I just think Barry Sanders is the running back GOAT.
I'm glad you said that because I take it there. We don't name Michael Jordan as the GOAT of shooting guards.
Of shooting guards.
We don't name Tom Brady. Yeah, we don't name Tom Brady the GOAT of
quarterbacks. Okay,
we don't do that. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm taking. That's why I'm going with it. In regards to either you are the GOAT or you're not the GOAT. Now the thing about Barry Sanders, I love to do one of the greatest running backs ever. I totally agree to that. 100%.
He don't have none of the things in which we sit up and talk about. You need
that part. I was just getting ready to say it. He has not won.
But I think he gets a TIG waiver though.
How?
No, because he has time and greatness. He just don't have those things. Like
so we give TIG waivers. Then John Stockton needs a TIG waiver. Charles Barkley needs a TIG waiver.
Bruh. Really?
Bro, Karl Malone needs a TIG waiver. He's second, third in overall all-time scoring in NBA history. What? Come on, you talk about waivers. You got to give other people waivers to be GOATs too. Then, if that's the case, come on, Trey. Come on.
Have people like Jim Brown like that, but that's like greatness. Like Jim Brown and Barry Sanders did numbers, astronomical numbers in a small amount of time, to where it was up for a long time. Like it took it took a good amount of time.
You're going away from the criteria, bro. You just said it's got to be wins, it's got to be this longevity. We just talked about it. We said all of this before we got to that. And he was like, "Yeah, you're right. We got to get out."
So what if? Okay, just bear with me for a second. What if? Okay, no, I think I make it because I'm about to say, what if, just like we said, we're talking about conversation when we talk about Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, they did numbers and and put up numbers in a very short amount of time. What eluded them were championships, in which if we're saying that's a criteria, championships, and not to mention accolades. Those accolades, like
Individual
yes, they put up
accolades,
numbers, but they didn't get. I don't think they were
MVPs and stuff like that.
MVPs and all that other type of stuff.
Right,
But they
right.
had MVP. They produced MVP numbers,
Numbers.
like all time great numbers.
Mhm.
But like, how do we get away? How do we get away with allowing all time numbers, but we can't call you an all time great?
We didn't say we couldn't call you an all time great.
You
We
just
said you
can't be the
can't be
greatest of all time.
the great. There it is. There it is. You can't say you're not an all time great because Barry Sanders is in the Hall of Fame. But but y'all trying to play no keeping it 100, Eric. You gotta keep it 100 though. We just y'all so so we asking you, Eric, do you feel like Trey said at the very beginning? Do you need to have championships under your belt? Do you need to have a long tenature of being in the sport long enough to even accomplish those accolades? Do you? I already said championships. Do you have to be great through your entire career at some point? Do you need all those things to be considered the greatest of all times? I'm just saying. That's just. We talked about it. Depends on what.
The
Depends on the
sport and
sport.
position.
How? How does that depend whether you a GOAT or not? How does that? I don't explain it, Eric. Please. How do you feel like the sport and position has determination on whether you're not the GOAT? Because y'all just said, we just said, Serena Williams is the GOAT of females.
Running back's time is 46 years. Shelf life.
Okay. What? That's to say what though? You still have to. So in no 4 to 6 years, if you ain't won a championship, that means you still can be considered a GOAT. I got it. Golf can play 35 years. Got it. I got it. Basketball, you can play. Got it.
Golf could be up 35 years.
Okay, got it. How long can you box for and be considered a GOAT? Let me ask you this, Trey, is
Okay, I'm back.
what's old girl name? The one just
Who?
retired, Allison Felix.
Alex and Felix.
Yeah, is she a GOAT of track and field?
She is a GOAT in track and field based upon her accolades.
You said a GOAT. What's a GOAT?
Because you got other people like we ain't going to just completely remove women. Like you,
Either she is or you just said you can't be dethroned.
you got FloJo. Like, yeah, you can't be. That's why I say once you get. That's why I say, is it a badge of honor, or is it a thing to where someone has to be up there by themselves and everybody else is just saying coming to the party, but someone has to be. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, that's why I go back to: is it like a badge of honor, or is it like is there a pecking order? Do we have goat? Do we have tiers of goats, or is it like a say all, be all, do all? Like you're a goat and that's it.
That's what we was
So if it's
asking.
a badge of honor, yeah.
That was the
So
whole
I think it's it is that you have to have multiples, but of course in anything you sit up and like if they sit up and talk about how we sit up and say gracious.
I don't know if it's your connection or my connection, but I ain't hear nothing you just said.
Can you hear me, Bishop?
Yeah, I can hear you, but now you're not moving or nothing. I can't see any like your thing is like.
I'm sorry. So I hope everyone can see.
We can see you. Oh, I see you, but you're frozen. Oh, maybe there you go. I don't know, but is Bill Russell the GOAT? That's a good question. That's a good question, Eric.
Okay.
This is something. There you go. Look like you might be good right there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Is Bill Russell the GOAT?
Is Bill Russell the GOAT?
Is he the GOAT? Yeah, that's a good question for you. Is he? Is he considered the GOAT? The GOAT is The GOAT title has went from a badge of honor to a participation trophy. Shaking my head. Ooh. Why do you say that, Wendell? Who are they labeling the GOAT that's basically only participated in their sport, not necessarily won the actual GOAT status? Because myself and Trey have already stated there are certain criteria which you have to meet to be considered GOAT status. And so I don't know of anyone who they've labeled as the GOAT. In my opinion, I don't know of anyone who's been labeled as a GOAT for participation purposes. I can't be according to you because it's Jordan, right? To me, it's Jordan, yeah. But I'm asking you, Eric, who is? Answer your own question. Is Bill Russell the GOAT in your eyes? Is he the GOAT to you? Do you feel like Bill Russell is the GOAT? I'm wanting to know. This is something that you brought up. I want to know, do you feel like Bill Russell is the GOAT? Like I say, I'm not taking nothing away from Barry Sanders whatsoever. Like I said, he is one of the greatest runners of all time in NFL history. One of the greatest. Multiple GOATs is not a thing. Oh, here we go. Multiple GOATs is not a thing to me. It's only one. I like that window. And that's what we were talking about. That's what we were discussing. We can't hear you, Trey. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I had muted because I was over here. I was cussing and stuff like that.
We got somebody.
We got a GOAT in his own right. What's good, CC? What's going on with you this morning, brother?
What's good, man?
What's up with it, fellas?
What's good, man? Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you on.
Perfect time to enter discussion. We have found ourselves back into the GOAT talk.
Yes.
We have found ourselves back into the GOAT talk, in which we were talking about what distinguishes a GOAT. So, in that being said, in which like here we have Wendell basically said multiple GOATs is not a thing. There's only one GOAT. Do you agree with that, or can we have multiple GOATs?
Hold on, let me ask him this first, Trey.
Okay, quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask him this real quick. Is Barry Sanders considered the GOAT, CC?
Barry Sanders is, in my opinion, the GOAT of running backs.
You can't say that, CC. There is no GOAT position. You can't put a GOAT to a position because let me ask you this: is Michael Jordan the GOAT of shooting guards, or he's the GOAT of basketball?
Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. I think that's a little different.
You just gave it's though both sports have positions.
Well, I say Barry the GOAT of running backs because he didn't catch the ball out of the backfield like a Marshall Faulk, or
you know what?
He mostly ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't use him much in the passing game like they did with other running backs. So in my opinion, he's the GOAT. I say that because if he'd have played a couple of more years, the record probably would have been. Emmitt Smith probably doesn't own the record. Barry only played 10 years, and his record. I mean, his yardage and all that stuff speaks for itself in 10 years.
So let me ask you this. Hold on, CC. Now we've talked to this. So do you feel that there's a criteria that needs to be met to be considered the GOAT?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think
championships one of them?
Championships. That's a huge part of them. Championships would be a huge part. Like Barry doesn't have a championship. So he doesn't have. He played for the Lions.
Right.
He played for the Lions, so he doesn't have a championship.
So how can he be considered GOAT? So if that's the case, then TC, then why isn't the mailman the GOAT? Why isn't John Stockton the GOAT? Why isn't Charles Barkley the GOAT? Why?
Because they all played.
Why isn't Shaquille?
Because they all played against the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys you named, Stockton, Malone, all those guys were beat by the GOAT. Barkley, all of them were beat by the GOAT.
Hold on, didn't Barry Sanders play against the GOAT?
Who would you consider the GOAT as far as Because when I look at Barry.
He played against people like Jerry Rice, because wouldn't Jerry Rice be considered to go to wide receivers?
The go to wide receivers.
Okay, so he played. So I'm saying, so we're talking about like if we're labeling them and putting them in GOAT positions by GOAT positions, then you know what I'm saying. Why isn't the Charles Barkley the GOAT of power forwards or small forwards? Why isn't the mailman the GOAT of power forwards, small forwards, or Shaquille O'Neal the center of GOAT?
So you know what? That's a good question because I was about to.
Okay.
Go ahead, CC.
Because I was gonna say, now they may have been in the discussion until Tim Duncan came along, man. Tim Duncan, like it or not, was better than both of them. From his production on the court, understanding how to play the game, and the fundamentally sound principles that he brought to the game, plus defense. Charles Barkley wasn't known. Karl Malone wasn't known for defense, but you can't say Tim Duncan didn't play good defense within that Popovich system.
Okay. We just trying to find the criteria and what's being labeled as a GOAT, because we was talking about Serena Williams, of course, being that she's is looking at retiring after this the French Open upcoming. So she's talking about retirement right after that, and then we spoke about Serena Williams being the GOAT of women's tennis. So then that's how we totally got on the whole conversation of GOAT status, and if other people can be could she be considered the GOAT of women's tennis as well as just the GOAT period overall of sport. But yeah, it was brought up about whether or not certain players can be dethroned. Do you feel, CC, that a player can be dethroned from being a GOAT, or can you have multiple GOATs at the same time during in one sport?
Well, you look at just take basketball for example. Tennis is another good one. You got that in the men's tennis. You got Rafael Nadal and that what's his name, Djokovic.
Yeah,
those two guys have killed. They've killed men's tennis. Like, they win all the time. They've killed it. So, but yeah, like basketball is always this debate: is it Michael or is it LeBron? I give Michael the slight edge over LeBron not just because he didn't lose in the championships or anything like that, but because you add up his MVPs plus the defensive player of the year, not too many people could say that he got all that, and I think you can. He is better than Venus, I should say.
Okay. Zach says Jordan is the GOAT. He has the rings and the stats, but he brought more to the game. The shoe game now is because of Jordan. The endorsement deals players have now. Jordan led the way there as well. Window around one category equals one GOAT.
Well, I think that when you talk specifically Jordan and LeBron, I think what a lot of people don't factor in is the length of time that LeBron has played over Mike. Like LeBron's played a lot longer.
Yeah, because
so he should have every record.
He came in out of high school. Right. Jordan went to North Carolina, played for the Tar Heels. You're right.
Yeah, I think Jordan came out after his junior year.
Right, out of North Carolina, out of Tar Heels. Yes, he came out of junior year, and that plays a huge difference. That makes a huge difference because those years, and while Jordan was in college, those same 2-3 years, LeBron was in the NBA. So those are 3 years extra. He had to put up more stats than Michael Jordan.
Right.
So yeah, I get it. I totally understand. But you're right, Eric Small. Everyone has a different definition of the GOAT. The conversation will never be agreed on because everybody has their own GOAT and how they feel what the GOAT status should consist of.
Oh yeah. It's never gonna be a right answer.
No.
You take football. I think Tom Brady is the GOAT. Like,
right.
I think he's the best football player ever.
Right, without question.
A lot of people don't agree with that.
Right.
A lot of people agree with that.
Which is hard to believe. Like, how do you not agree with this man being the greatest of all times? And he has 7 Super Bowl rings. 7 alone by himself. He has 7 Super Bowl rings. Some teams don't have 7 Super Bowls, period, but he has 7 himself.
By himself. No team
By
has
himself.
7, right?
Right.
No
No
team
team
has
has 7. Yeah, and he has 7 by himself. So yeah, that solidifies him as GOAT status, in my opinion. But it is what it is.
They consider quarterbacks the leader when you're talking football. So that's 7 teams that he led to the championship to win the championship. Being there 10 times total. I don't think you'll ever see that again in football. As far as a quarterback doing that, I don't think you'll ever see that again.
Right. And in the history of football, even of all the teams that has 6 championships, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, none of them had quarterbacks that not consecutively, but won all those Super Bowls. None of them teams have the same quarterback for all. Like Steelers don't have the same quarterback for all 6 Super Bowls. Cowboys don't have the same quarterback for all 6 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? New England and Tom Brady has done that. He has 6 with New England and 1 with Tampa Bay. That's what solidifies him and puts him at GOAT status.
I can see Trey doesn't agree.
I don't, but what I realize is that I know. I'm sorry about the interruption. I think maybe it's too many people. It's a lot of stuff, bandwidth going on in the house or something like that. But I can see where.
Really, Eric, you tripping? Yes, Trey's having
how it basically comes down.
Yeah. You keep you back.
I can't even get. Oh, okay. Y'all can see me. I'm glad I was. In here showing PTSD stuff, but so I completely I get what everyone's saying. Everyone going in, you can't be too many goats. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I think rings make you a goat.
I don't have boosts. I can assure you.
Good morning. Understand? Yes, I do feel like I think CC, myself, and Trey believe that winning championships puts you in GOAT status. You have to have one. And again, so CC, I did ask this question. What up, Jack? Everyone can't be the GOAT. I think we all can agree there is and have been some great players across the sport. Absolutely, Jack. I totally agree with you. But CC, you do agree that to be a GOAT, you have to win championships, correct?
Yes. Yes, because
so let me ask you this
about winning.
Right. So let me ask you this. Can you be considered a GOAT if you won 2 championships? Or do you have to have Yeah.
Well, it depends on who we, really football. I say you could probably, before Brady, you could probably do that, but
no. Listen, CC now. Listen, CC now. Before you say that, now, this is why I asked you that, right? Because we talk about previous GOATs. We talk about Michael Jordan, 6 NBA championships. We talk about Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls winning championships. We talk about Venus Williams. She has a plethora of accolades, 23 Wimbledon, all these people in which we put in GOAT, Grand Slams. All these people we put in GOAT status, they don't have 1 or 2 championships. They have multiple. So that's why I asked, can you win or can you be considered GOAT status with just 2 championships?
Well, when you put it that way, not really.
Yeah. that part. Yeah. It just, to me, it don't make sense because it's like, oh, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Oh, Serena Williams the GOAT. Oh, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Oh, and then you name all the things, and then such and such is the GOAT. Oh, how he got 2? You gonna compare his 2 to Tom Brady 7, Michael Jordan 6, Serena Williams however many Wimbledon championships she won, and you gonna put him up there or her up there with 2? That don't even sound right, bro. In my opinion.
Right. That's true. That's true when you put it that way. I think that, like, if you look at the whole GOAT situation, I think that if LeBron wins 1 or 2 more before he leaves, man, then it's gonna be real hard not to look at it, especially at his age now.
Okay.
If he was to win one or two more, that that might change that whole basketball discussion a little bit.
CC, so
Uh,
can you be dethroned?
it's
Can you
just
be
that he's been there a
dethroned?
whole lot of times.
CC, can you be dethroned from the GOAT then?
What?
Can you be dethroned from the GOAT?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I think Michael Jordan said it himself that records were meant to be broken, things were meant to be surpassed. You set marks, and if somebody eclipsed your mark, then yeah, they did that. You can't take it away from them.
Right.
Which is
Right.
what Kobe was trying to do, right? Kobe was trying to surpass Michael Jordan, right?
Right. Absolutely. Totally agree. Right. Right. I believe rings is a team win. GOAT is an individual greatness. Do y'all agree with that?
Right.
Do y'all agree with that,
Yeah.
CC?
I agree. I agree that Kobe was an individual great. He grew into that greatness. He came out of high school, and I always say that Kobe didn't get Kobe came out, and it was obvious that the coaches didn't believe in him. The first coaches that he had didn't believe in him the way that the Lakers organization did. Came in starting, never sat down. Jordan came in starting. Kobe came in off the bench, man. So the other two had a jump on him in those respects. They were starting. Can you believe the Lakers were starting? What was his name? Eddie Jones in front of Kobe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that made a difference in Kobe's career. Even those first couple of years playing it for the Lakers and coming off the bench like that.
Yeah, but Ron, like CC said, what you fail to realize is LeBron has 3 more
I think if he would
years.
have started from the jump, and who knows, right?
He has 3 more years on. Like,
Oh, I lost reception. Can y'all hear me? I lost
yeah.
reception.
No, I hear you, CC. I hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Go
the
ahead.
GOAT,
CC.
like Serena is the GOAT of tennis, though, of women's tennis.
Absolutely, without question, bro. Serena is the GOAT of tennis, without question. I will argue with anyone for anyone that says she's not. I would have to agree that she is.
It's probably definitely one of the situations to where to have a panel of individuals to really discuss this, because as I'm looking at the comments and seeing the comments, because I can't do anything else evidently.
Right. Obviously, and it's crazy, right? We're talking about this, and right now on First Take, they're saying, is Serena the GOAT of female tennis? Right now, they're asking it. We're asking that question right now on First Take. But go ahead.
But yeah, so I was looking at it, it's a lot of I have a lot of questions or a lot of topics that is being discussed. Of course, when you look at it, the like Eric's like what I have up now, what Eric is saying, like Jordan played 5 years before winning those rings, had to get a team together. So what that enacts, the emotion that enacts in me is basically LeBron almost right off the rip was, as they built their team, became a dominant force. So it's like it's just so many stuff. Like, so I guess we could put a Pinterest in it or table it for now,
Right.
and basically maybe dedicate a whole segment, or even come up with a segment, get some people with different backgrounds, and everybody get some people on and have a discussion about it. Because and it's just like the conversation which we're having is probably not going to do anything but be a good segment. But in state is it comes out and people get to get some stuff across. Because one thing we're hearing is Kobe was the GOAT of his era. We're hearing Serena is the GOAT of women's basketball. Now into the conversation,
Women's
Candace
tennis.
Parker is the GOAT. I'm sorry, it's women's tennis. Candace Parker, I don't agree with being the GOAT in
Lisa Leslie.
WNBA. Yes, that's Lisa or Cynthia. Like it does say again, conversations come into play. Like who is it? Like But you know what I'm saying. But definitely we can set up and probably set that up to where that becomes a whole segment in itself because there's a lot of points to be brought up and talked about. Go back to the fact of I think Barry Sanders is the GOAT of running backs. But that I
we go. He had to add that part running backs though. There he go. He put the position in there.
Threw rocks in it.
I mean, the two
Bird,
greatest football players,
Becky Hammond,
the two greatest football players to me of all time, Tom Brady and Jerry Rice, man. Like nobody did it longer, nobody represented longer. I mean, Jerry Rice was almost 40 years old, still beating out 20-year-olds for a position on a team. They had to tell him finally, hey, you're not gonna make the team, or you're not gonna play or whatever. You'll make the team, but you won't play much. In order to get rid of him, I mean, he was just that guy that was uniform every day, come in, organized, handle his business type. So in my opinion, it's Tom Brady, Jerry Rice, and then you got Barry Sanders as far as numbers wise, as far as performance wise.
But CC, and I know Trey was trying to move on from this, but how can you put Barry Sanders in as the GOAT over Emmitt Smith? When Emmitt Smith has Super Bowls as well as the rushing title, but you got Barry Sanders over Emmitt Smith before as the GOAT before Emmitt Smith.
And I say this as a Cowboy fan, Emmitt wouldn't have been as good as he was without that offensive line.
We can't put that in there. We can't put that in there. He had that line. That was point blank. We can't. It ain't like he asked for that line. He happened to get that line. We can't put that in there. He's not the GOAT because he had the offensive line. No, we do that.
Right. What I'm saying is give Barry Sanders that same line and his numbers would have been ridiculous. You talking 2,000 yards. Barry Sanders ran for. This is why I say Barry's the GOAT. Remember his 2,000-yard season?
Mm-hmm.
He ran for 2,052 yards. You can look it up.
Right.
The first two games, he gained 52 yards. He ran for 2,014 games.
Right.
He ran for 2,014 games.
So my question for you, my question for you, CC, is why has he catapulted Emmitt Smith? And you can't say because of the line. Why? How can he out jump Emmitt Smith as being a GOAT when Emmitt Smith has championship and Barry Sanders don't?
I mean, it's just my opinion. I don't think Emmitt wasn't as dynamic as Barry. I mean, it's a lot of different reasons. Emmitt was durable, but not dynamic, not nearly as good as Barry performance-wise on the field. I
think it is if Barry had continued on, Emmitt wouldn't even be. He would be second. I mean, he would basically be behind him.
But that's the thing.
Right, and Emmitt played all those years to purposely pass Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, right. We know that. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Right. Which Tom Brady is still playing probably to try and ensure that his records never get passed.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Someone will.
You think so? Maybe. I think Brady's still playing because he wants to win. I think he's different.
No, that too.
I think he's different.
That too. Oh, that too. Don't get me wrong. That too. That too.
Yeah.
That part, Eric. That's a good point.
Barry's better running back, and it played on a better team. I mean, I get it. I
mean, how many? Ask yourself this: with the Cowboys, or possibly like put Barry on that team. They won 3 championships, 3 out of 3 and 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
If you put Barry on that, do they win another 1 or 2? Do they get some extra ones? I mean, do they get extra ones?
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. Yeah, I feel it's very possible. Yeah, without question.
So, like you said, to move on a little bit, which way do I want to go? Let's talk about this real quick because it's short in for the most part NBA. Then we'll go into a little college, and then we'll get into some of these topics in NFL. The win share came out, and that being said, the win share basically is based upon what the odds are and who. Places like Caesars and all that other talk about have an idea of what the win totals will be for NBA teams. Of course, at the top, which I have a little quarrel with this, at the top of that win share is the Celtics, expected to get 54 wins. Suns are right behind them with 53. Milwaukee with 52. The Warriors 52. And how dare they? The Clippers with 51. You laughing kind of hard, bro. Like, you okay over there?
Because I know you upset because they put them Clippers over them Lakers.
I just be so it's not even, you know what? It's not even that. I'm just looking at, so you're telling me what you're like. What I'm hearing is Kawhi is the savior, and because Kawhi is coming back, this team is going to be completely.
He could be considered that, Trey. He pulled a Tom Brady before Tom Brady did it.
When he was
he left San Antonio and went to Toronto and won a championship. He did it. He did
when
it.
Kawhi was healthy. Weren't they a 60-win team when he was healthy? I mean, I'm just saying. So 51 is a little low, right?
Yeah, that part. I'm just saying. I
mean, even with his load management, they were like almost a 60-win team. So 51 is a little low, in my opinion, for the Clippers.
What?
I'm just.
That's a little low.
You know what? I continue to try because it be stuff. I'll be continue because the last time I stepped out there, I had it right, but I had the teams wrong. So I tried to set up because I said USC was going to be a top 10 team, or Oklahoma was going to be a top 15 team, and jumps the boogie on the college coaches poll. It's completely flipped. With USC is a top 15 team and Oklahoma is a top 10 team. So I don't want to sit up. I just reserve the comments as in right now because, but 51, like really, like you think the Clippers are okay?
I do.
Word.
I really do. I think the Clippers. I think they are.
I'm trying to make sure I remove Laker bias, LA bias. So I try to stay even keel. But 51. And then, of course, the Lakers, they said it's going to be a 44 win. Like, how dare you? The audacity.
Ooh, just a little over
44. How many did they win last year? 30 what? What did they win last season? 30 what? I mean, 44 is a little, hey, I would take it. If I'm the Lakers, I would take it, I would take it.
Was that a jab? Was that a jab there, Trey?
Yeah. He was like he slipped over you saying that body blow, uppercut. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm hearing. Ring King tactics. Of course, at the end of that, and all that said, the Spurs, San Antonio Spurs 24, Rockets 24, and Pacers 24. So way too high. They won't see 40. See the disrespect. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Make it to the play-in. You know what?
Hey, bro. CC just said, didn't they win 30? So 40 going up in the 40s. Y'all going. That's going up, bro.
We're not going to act like we didn't have two 75th all-time players in our offense. But it is what it is. We did lose. We did not make it to the play-in. And
two. Well, where was them two when they needed them extra 20 wins?
Right.
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 Okay.
When they needed them extra 20 wins, like.
So I guess you CC's cut man, and you just if I'm in the corner, you just jabbing me too. So it's like I gotta fight both of y'all now. That's what it is. Like that's what's going on. Okay, I got it. I understand. I completely understand.
Gotta win,
all my life.
I'm just saying, bro. I mean, I think that's fair. I feel like people are going to have slept on the Clippers because of the two injuries with Paul George and, of course, Kawhi. I think that's huge. I do think the Clippers are going to be way better than what people think because of the fact that Kawhi and Paul George have been out.
That part, Ron.
We're going to keep these receipts. Please do.
We know receipts have to be showed because I spent like 15, 20
minutes.
How we
look for you know how we do the receipts. You know how we do the receipts. But I definitely, and then they got the addition of what's his name?
Wall.
Wall went over there. John Wall went over there. So yeah, it's a possibility, man. It's a possibility, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. It's a possibility. The Clippers are now definitely a team to contend out west. As
I mean,
long
you
as
have
them
to.
stay
Yeah,
healthy.
if they healthy, they're contenders. If as long as they're healthy, and if you got a healthy Kawhi, they're contenders.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally
Thank you,
agree.
Tez. Thank you, Tez. Please, Lakers fans, enter
Stop
to
it.
the comments the disrespect that
Stop
they
it,
sit
man.
up
It's real, bro.
and they're doing it like I'm not even just sitting here. Like that's the part about it. Like I'm just not sitting here and we're having conversations about Kawhi.
We post a whole
If
lot
he
of
was a
time because
Laker, we have a different
you're a
conversation.
Lakers fan. We post a whole lot of time because you're a Laker fan because you sitting here. No, we finna give you the straight first formation truth, bro. Let's go.
I don't
Let's get it.
I don't sit up and drag Brooklyn and the turmoil that they're going through right
Oh, are
now.
you serious right now? You don't drag Brooklyn? Really? You drag
With,
Brooklyn? You
I
drag
didn't
my
say
sister?
we
You the
didn't
first
say anything.
dude
We
that came
didn't.
on here the other day and talked about how the dude said that the ninja word and got killed. Really? Really? That was the first topic of the whole show about the ninja word. And now yo, man, get out of here, dog. For real?
That's different. That's OU. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't say I say anything about other stuff.
It's 8 or 9 teams in the West better than the Lakers. Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that's disrespectful. That's real disrespectful right there. 8 or 9 teams in the West.
Look at this. See? Oh my goodness.
8 or
But you know
9
what?
teams. That's real. That's blasphemy for real. For real. I don't know about 8 or 9 teams better than the Lakers out west now. Yeah, if that's the case, Anthony Price name them because I don't know about that. Clippers injuries, huh? But they do nice health.
Nice healthy.
They'll be healthy. Yeah, if they healthy, that's right. Not healthy, it's not. Yeah, they will be that. They will be that team if they healthy.
Yeah, I digress. So of course, continuing on as we going into like it's just funny. Bishop talks about it brings up a conversation about that team in Oklahoma. We've covered a couple of teams and stuff in reference to not teams, but a couple of topics in reference to the the university position U. We started off in we started
Quarterback.
off in quarterbacks with
Right.
quarterbacks as we found that Oklahoma was the was running back U. I mean quarterback U. Interestingly enough, yesterday we determined and found that running back U was. Wait, did we do? Yeah, running
No,
back U was yesterday, right?
No, we didn't do it. We didn't do
Oh,
running back
okay.
U.
So running back U is now. It's today.
Yeah, we haven't done running back U.
I'm tripping. Where am I at? Where's my head at? Okay, so running back U. When we talk about positions, who would y'all think is the number one team for or be the position for running back U?
That's hard. That's hard because running backs come out of all schools.
Running backs.
Yeah, out of all schools, running backs come out of all schools. If I had to put the teams out there, though, I would probably put Ohio State. Oklahoma in that one. Alabama probably in there. Maybe Penn State. That's what 4.
Penn State. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one.
Isn't that where Saquon came from?
Saquon, you got to think they had a couple. Keyshawn Carter, a couple of back in the day. Yeah. So they've had. No one's been successful, but there's been a couple.
And then I would think, you know what? Then I would think the U themselves. The U.
Oh, okay.
Miami.
Okay. Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. So top five. Number five, Oklahoma.
Okay, I told you. I figured that.
Number 4, the U, Miami.
Let's go.
Number 3, which is interesting enough, which I can see, LSU.
I forgot about LSU.
Number 2, which another one y'all forgot about. Another one you forgot about, who I think is like a dark horse and everyone be sleeping on. Number 2, Wisconsin.
I was gonna say Wisconsin because I remember they had whatchamacallit
Ron Dane, and then after Ron Dane, like they had 2.
Ron Dane.
Yeah, they had a couple.
That's the running back for Indianapolis, right? Didn't he come from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
He went to Indianapolis.
Taylor. It was someone before him too that was nice. So and then of course number 1, as they have it for running back U, Alabama.
Yeah.
Of course, when you look at the
Alabama.
Yeah,
and when you look at the best conferences, the best team in the conference in the ACC, Miami holds it down for running backs. In the Big 12, Oklahoma. The Big 10, Wisconsin, as we just said. The SEC in the Alabama is Alabama. Non-conference, interestingly enough, non-Power 5 conference, the best university to be dubbed a running back university, Memphis. And in the Pac-12, Oregon. That's blasphemy.
Oh, I knew Oregon would probably be it.
I don't even know how. Well, I get why. Because they only go back to a certain date, so
Yeah.
USC can't claim those running backs prior to a certain point.
You think in the Pac-12? That's what I was gonna say. You think in the Pac-12 USC had better running backs?
Not recently. Not since.
I know historically. They did. But
historically, they did.
Yeah, I couldn't go recently, right?
Yeah, recently not. Of course, they had the biggest mover was Iowa State because they have added players like Iowa State has had Dave Montgomery, Bryce Hall, and then of course, interesting enough, Syracuse is out of there, but that's due to the fact of Syracuse is no longer. When you said you can have the cutoff, then they can't use Syracuse.
Right.
So that's why we didn't. So we'll do a double up. We'll do the wide receiver U today because we didn't get to the. I omitted to do running backs yesterday. I was wondering. I was like, I know I've seen this already. So wide receiver U. Who do you think holds that distinction?
Miami. Alabama.
Oh, so disrespectful.
Miami, Alabama, Georgia.
I think USC still put out pretty good wide receivers.
USC probably in there too. And Oklahoma.
Oklahoma in everything, really? Goodness gracious.
Well,
Is you going to play?
I just disagree with the Sooners. I go with Oklahoma State. You talking wide receivers, right?
Yeah. Right.
I go to Cowboys, Oklahoma State.
Who you gonna talk about? Who come out of Oklahoma State outside of Dez Bryant?
CD, what's his name? Where did he come from? He was a Sooner?
Yes, he was a Sooner, man. Sir. Yes, sir. He's a Sooner.
What was the other guy that was supposed to be good? What's his name? He didn't make it. He was supposed to be real good. Blackman or something like that?
Blackman.
Yeah, came out of Oklahoma State. Blackman. He did.
Blackman.
Yeah, Blackman came out of. But we talk about CeeDee Lamb. We talk about Hollywood Brown. We talk about what's his name out of golly, he was down there in Miami too. Kenny Stills. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
So okay.
I don't know.
Number 5. Ohio State.
Okay, yeah.
I can see that.
Number 4. Oklahoma.
I told you, bro. Don't play with me. I knew that Oklahoma was in there, man. Don't play with me.
Number 4.
I'm trying to figure out how's Oklahoma in all 3 of these topics so far.
We that team, bro. I tried to tell you.
Well, they do have pretty good players that make it to the pros.
Number 3. Alabama.
I said Alabama.
Alabama at 3. Well, who's number 2 and 1? Oh, wow.
Watch. Georgia's one of them. Watch.
LSU, number 2.
LSU. Damn,
LSU. Who am I sleeping on for LSU?
Yeah, me too.
Pros?
Yeah,
Odell Beckham.
Outside of him, though. Outside of
Landry.
Oh, Jarvis Landry. Yeah. Yeah.
Who else has come out of Oklahoma? I mean, LSU. They've had some. Wasn't Bo from Alabama? I mean, from
LSU.
Dwayne Bowe for LSU. Yeah. So they've had a couple. I'll give them that.
Give them that. And who's
number 1? Dun, 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 dun.
USC, right?
USC Trojans.
Get the hell out of here, bro.
Hey, wide receiver U.
What's name 3, Trey?
Well, that's what I thought.
Name 3.
Just of recently, Amon-Ra, Drake Jackson, and Michael Pittman. Of recently.
Who?
And then you got
Michael Pittman, but that's all. I'm not giving you the.
And then you got Michael Williams, Nelson Aguilar, Marquise Lee. Like we said, stop it. Don't even see the disrespect. I didn't say anything about y'all trash ass receivers. And then but you gonna sit and say
Nelson Aguilar trash. He came to Philly and didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I went with I figured USC had to be up there. Uh, they normally do well with the receivers.
Stop laughing at that. Kenny Stills was a beast, bro. Oh,
Uh,
Chase. Oh, that's right.
yeah, Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah, that's right. They were. Yeah, oh, yeah. Both of them came out. Yep.
So, of recent, of course, when you look at it, where they talk about the conference wise,
No,
SEC, LSU's,
Aguilar. No. I
and
told
then
you.
we had, well, that's going to, I was about to say, then we had, but that's going a little further back. But yeah, we had people. For non-power conference, Western Michigan, like I said, Pac-12, USC, SEC, LSU, Big Ten, Ohio State, Big 12, Oklahoma, and
Yeah.
ACC, Florida State.
SEC. Oh, okay. Florida State. Florida State.
Florida State.
So
And
wow.
then current, and then of course a big mover
Florida
with
State was
current.
a while ago, right?
Probably because I
Well,
don't even remember the last Florida State wide receiver to come out. To be honest with you.
That's what I was saying. Florida State was a while ago, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't
and
remember.
then with on what's up now, the Boilermakers, when they have David Bell and Rondell Moore, that's making moves. So they are the biggest mover, going from the 29th to 19 spot.
Mhm.
51 to 29 when you have a conversation when we talk about that. So of course tomorrow we'll take a look at tight ends and offensive linemen for uh wide receiver U, um and see what it does in that. A couple of other things we get, but I won't cover that today. NFL. As I know, I see Ron is in the chat. It has been stated that the Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay disclosed that he has signed an extension over the offseason to be extended with the Rams. They are waiting for their GM, the Les Snead, to sign his extension before announcing it. And so that's what I was basically getting ready to go with Bishop is earlier when I was like it was something that was said earlier while we was talking about the GOATs conversation was, do you think it is and even when we talk about, I see, like I said, I ain't say anything about Brooklyn, but when it comes to a head coach and a GM, that chemistry does there need to be a chemistry and connection to ensue greatness, or is that just something where if it's there, that's just a added bonus?
Typically, you have to have, well, sometimes coaches are the GM and the coach, like a Belichick, and you have Mike Holmgren that did it that way. But typically, they have to work hand in hand. Like GM responsible for the personnel, and if the coach doesn't like the personnel, you see how that works sometimes. Uh, you don't get the right gel. So I think they have to be on the same page as far as what type of team they want to, what type of organization they want to run, I should say, and what type of players they want. Um, but I think you can have one without the other that makes a difference. I think you can have one without the other that makes a difference. Um, like I said, like historically, coaches, you know, they're responsible overall for the output on the field. But the GM, without the people, like you take Dallas, Jerry Jones is a pretty good GM as far as him doing it. He can always find defensive linemen, stuff like that. But he hasn't done so well with the coaches. He hasn't meshed well. His history has proven that he doesn't mesh well with the coaches, so that hurts the team performance, and that stops them from making playoff runs, in my opinion.
Mm. Bishop, you agree with do you need it? Y'all need if this GM needed, especially your case, because like I said, y'all going through the same thing in even though it's not in NFL, but in basketball, where KD is like, hey, one of them got to go, or they got to go, or I got to go. So, is it the chemistry needed? Is that needed chemistry, or is you agree with CC, like you can get, it's good to have, but you don't necessarily need it?
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily need it. It is an extra added addition if you can get it. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't think you necessarily need it for the most part. I agree with CC. If you have the skills and you can perform at a high level, and all a coach or a general manager does is pretty much hone your skill, kind of like polishes your skills more from some aspect. But yeah, I don't think you
A few
necessarily need.
minutes.
I don't think you need it.
Okay, so and which I can agree as well, but I mean it helps because if you were looking at this dude is bringing in people I can't use, or if you're looking at someone making moves and taking away a key aspect of your team as you see it, then it's a problem. So I think there is a little buy-in to it, but of course we as we understood it's to be understood that just like okay, someone is in charge here, and that's me. I give you the people, and then we go from there. Every talk to the topic, you put your cowboy in it.
See,
Every
you see that? As you say, why every topic you put your Cowboys in it when it comes to bad football?
Oh well, I had to put the Cowboys out there because it's a prime example of the coach and the GM that you're talking about. As far as GM seeing it one way, and coaches seeing it another.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, what other team fits that? Like you guys, San Francisco they had that good combination, right? Shanahan and Lynch seem to line up with each other's thoughts processes, right?
That they did. Excuse me, they
they
did.
they do see. I mean, they're still both still there. So yeah. I guess you can say that. But and so which it makes. But you would think it makes sense. But so and just like CC brought up earlier, when you have certain like Belichick or Holmgren, like the reason Holmgren didn't do it anymore is because it wasn't working out for him. Or I know in other instances, you have it to where people that did that it didn't go well, and they had to relinquish that GM part of it because it wasn't working well.
Oh, Eric Small said they don't need it. The Bulls hate. Oh boy, they had and still won championships. Oh, he talking about
Was it Kraus?
Kraus. Yeah, Jerry
Yeah.
Kraus. Yeah, Jerry Kraus. Yeah, he talking about Kraus. So yeah, good point, Eric.
Uh, where else we got? What else we got? We got officials, of course, are being asked to take a look at. They forever to protecting quarterbacks. I feel like this is a rule towards the quarterbacks.
Had
Being
another.
yeah, uh, the contact to keep a close look on contact files. Things as next bishop as our resident official. Is that a good look? Is that something that needs to be taken at?
Are you
Like when
talking
you're
about?
watching it,
Are you talking about the contact in regards to the wide receivers? Because
was it
I
wide
know,
receivers or was it to
no, it was
everybody?
wide receivers. No, it was wide
Okay,
receivers. Context.
I
I
took it
know
to
what you're
talk
talking about.
about everybody, but so
No, I
okay.
thought
So you think
it was
it makes
wide
sense?
receivers.
Like you know
Yeah,
what I look at? I think
it
to
was,
myself, like I know when I was coming up playing, there was a lot. It'd be a lot of stuff been going on. Like it'd be fighting down that's impediment. Within I know we say within 5 yards you can't you only certain things, but I'll be looking down the field and there'd be a lot of tussling going
yeah, they
on. But
basically talking about the grabbing of the
okay,
DBs. The DBs grabbing the wide receivers longer than they need to. Um, it should be. They say they want the officials to look at that more and throw penalties for that more because they saying the DBs are getting away with it with grabbing the receivers more downfield and not getting the calls. I remember them talking about that yesterday. I think it was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
okay.
But receivers do the same thing to the DBs. They push off
yeah,
a
you're right.
lot, a lot. You know,
You're right. You get that separation. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I've seen it numerous times. You're right.
So Bishop, you making that call 100% of the time, or you gonna let them play a little?
Which call?
The hand checking, the grabbing, the push offs.
So it all depends, man. To be honest, like if it's giving you an advantage, then yeah, I'm probably going to call it. If it's giving you a major advantage, especially if you continuously do it and it's giving you an advantage, then yeah, I'm gonna have to check it. I'm gonna have to call it. But if you do it here and there, then nah. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you be physical. In my opinion, I'm gonna let you play a little physical ball. And may the best man win. But yeah, if it's excessive, then yeah, I'm putting definitely trying to put a stop to it. Hand checking is cool, but they holding jerseys too. Yeah, that part exactly. And that's what they're talking about, Eric. That's exactly what they're talking about. Pulling on jerseys to slow the man down or to play catch up, grabbing their arms, the hidden arm. You know, they try to grab the arm away from the quarterback that the quarterback can't see. So they kind of grab that elbow, the bend of the elbow to try and stop that hand from coming up or delay the hand from coming up. Yeah. Yeah. All of that. Yeah.
Yesterday we came up, of course, the little NFL. Your boy Marshawn Lynch is wild.
Yeah.
Arrested in Las Vegas for a DUI.
Yeah.
The mugshot, they had to do him like that with the mugshot,
They
but of
didn't.
course,
They didn't. I saw that.
um,
He looked like he was more than just drunk. The way it was.
uh, Cleveland wide receiver and kick returner Jakeem Grant seemingly suffers an Achilles tear in practice yesterday.
Oh,
Signed, as long as he signed the 3-year deal, but leaving Chicago, coming off a Pro Bowl season. Now that is all in flux and gone. Again, it comes back to the practices. I know we say the off season, the training camps. Do you think there's a median between the training camps and having the training camps, the preseason, where they can do this to where you limit on injuries, or is it just a situation where an injury is just going to happen? It's going to happen. It's going to come, and there's
you
nothing
can't
around it.
you can't run from injuries, man. They gonna happen. It's just a part of the game, man. It's a contact sport. And even without no contact, you still have some injuries. Because I see a lot of players, I've seen a lot of these training camps, they're not even really making like real contact. Like they may bump them here and there, but for the most part, they're not even really doing a great deal of tackling. So if this upcoming season shows a great deal of missed tackles and stuff like that, which I've seen in past seasons recently, that a lot of missed tackling, I think that's because of the fact that they're trying to alleviate the injuries during the practice. But yeah, when it comes to injuries, man, ain't nothing you can do about that, man. They gonna happen. They are going to happen. You just hope and pray that they're not severe, and that you can bounce back from it.
Right.
And in that case, of course, like I say, you bring that up, but maybe the limited and it's just a tough call because to limit that from coaches, to limit it from your star players, like and then they get out there, then the injury happens because they haven't properly had the stretching or they haven't been moving right and just coming up and trying to do it. So I completely understand. One of the things which we're going to talk about, of course, that came up yesterday. As you know, yesterday the Denver Broncos sale of the Denver Broncos approved $4.6 billion. Now one of the top highest rated the top, the most valuable team currently out there in sports, 5.6 billion, and being sold. In that, while they was there, of course, reporters spoke to Roger Goodell. Of course, one of the topics came up is the ruling on Stephen Ross, who was the Miami Dolphins owner, in reference to them being hit with the tampering charges. This, of course, what the most interesting one that was on there is the conversation in reference to the NFL appealing the suspension for Deshaun Watson. So Goodell gave a little insight to why. He basically stated that he believed that Watson's actions was egregious, and that being said, he has predatory behavior, and that they felt like that he needs a 1 year minimum in that fact. Do y'all agree with that? That this is deserving of a 1 year at minimum, or do you feel like they had a system in place, and this is a situation to where now they're just basically imposing their will with the appeal?
I think they went to a mediator. And if the mediator's ruling wasn't good enough, now they want to appeal. You went to an outside source who happens to be a woman, by the way, and she ruled that it should be 6 games. So the NFL, they're really just trying to impose their will at this point, because why go to an outside source if you're not going to stick with that in the first place? You could have just said, "Hey, we're gonna suspend you for a year," and skip the mediator and all that stuff. If that was your plan all along.
Mm-hmm. And I can get what you're saying, CC, because it comes down to the point. It's like, well, had she came back with a year, would that have been enough? They basically feel like it was a lot of stuff. If the system's in place, okay, that's what Ken is saying. The system was in place, and they got egg on their face. Just let it be. It almost sounded like you should have let it lay where it lie where it laid. But I think what Roger Goodell is seemingly trying to do is trying to bring is pushing to bring out to make an example to where it's understood that in which I think the example was made way before this process began, in which Judge Robinson brought out is the simple fact of things of this nature that are similar to this have been a 6-game precedence, which has been set. So why is it now you want to sit up and push the issue? Roger Goodell is basically stating that he's done what he did was basically unparalleled to any other things prior to. Per the NFL's definition, he has sexually assaulted 4 therapists, and that a 4 game suspension, as well as the money in which he has to pay, is not enough. In which it starts to look at like, oh, it's starting to seem like it's a hunt at this point. Like you're looking to make it an example. So it's almost in my opinion, it's like looking at this situation. Is there going to be a fair and just system going forth? Because now the person that's doing the appeals, what you sound like you're telling me, is that he's going to basically push for the year. What happens if he comes back and says, okay, 6 games at in-state, because he agrees with Judge Robinson. As we know, the person hearing it now is former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey, who is hearing it now, who is hearing the appeal, who was appointed by the NFL. So if he comes back and says 6 games, or even let's say 8 games, what we know is with this appeal process, whatever is brung up is final, is the final decision. So if he comes back and say, yeah, I agree with Judge Robinson, 6 games, then it's like, okay, where do we go from there? Everyone just has to take that. And now if he comes back with 12 games, or a correction, 17 games, which is the whole year, and the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, now we have another situation at hand. But I think is seeing what the process is to play out before we get further down the line, and something a little more that's probably a little more that would need this comes up to where they can fall back on this and be like, hey, this is a situation. So basically that's where it's at right now. I'm anxious to see what is going to be. There's no timeline for them to give a determination, but clock is ticking at this point. During the appeal process, I believe if need be, Watson can play. As we know, Week 2 starts tomorrow for a 2-game slate on Thursday. What's it? 4, I think 4 on Friday, 8 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And of course, Cleveland is one of those games, and he may be able to play or come out and play. So, don't want to send any mixed signals.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think Cleveland as an organization should allow him to play before anything sorted out?
So the PR,
I mean, it's preseason, but do you think they should allow him to play?
So the PR, a public affair person in me, marketing person in me, says no. You don't allow him to play. But when you look at it from a standpoint of legitly, he's in the appeal process, and there's no punishment for the appeal process, he should be able to play. But as if I was on Cleveland's organization and as a marketing individual or a PA or a PR person, I'm advising not to play him, because you don't want to give the wrong give the wrong intentions or get the wrong message that, okay, he's facing this and it hasn't been proven yet. But at the same time, there hasn't been, word came down, he was suspended. The NFL appealed it. While it's in the appeal process, everything is good until it comes out, until they have a determination. So I wouldn't, just like what Houston did last year. They didn't play him, of course, because you don't want anyone to think anything other than like you basically support the actions or anything like that. But at the same time, it's his job.
Right. Well, I look at it like, what was his name? Was it Hardy?
Yeah, Greg Hardy.
Like Hardy was out of the league indefinitely, right?
No, he did 4. He did the less.
That was his name,
He
right?
had a 4. Yeah, Greg Hardy. He had a 4-game suspension.
That was the one. Didn't he like hold his girlfriend hostage or something with the gun?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Greg Hardy. Yeah, because remember, he was with Carolina when that happened, and then he ended up going to Dallas, and then there was an outcry because it was like Dallas was supporting him and the domestic violence and all that type of stuff. And he served the 4-game suspension, and then the next year he ended up going and he played. When he finally came back when the NFL reinstated him, he signed with Dallas and played 1 season.
Right.
Now he's an MMA fighter.
Right, getting beat up, right?
Yeah. He won a couple. He's won a couple of, but for the most part, he's been getting walked and dragged.
Because my point was, I think that was one of outside of Josh Gordon's drug thing, I think that's one of the harshest penalties that the NFL has ever invoked. Really, um, I know they had a wide receiver back in the day where they banned him from the league. After he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, that receiver, they banned him from the league. Period, for his drug situation. But I think as far as putting down a penalty, I think Hardy faced like the harshest penalty in recent times, at least. Um, I think the NFL trying to do better. I don't fault them for appealing, but I think it's a little bit redundant at this point. Like, you went to an outsider and you didn't like that ruling, so why did you have to do all that to try to get the ruling that you wanted, when normally you just, normally Goodell just rules himself, right?
Yeah, and that's what they did. They took it out the hands of Goodell, but he has the he does reserve the right to bring it back to his court per the appeal, where he can hear it, or he can appoint or have an appointee in which he appointed Harvey. So
yeah. So I think they were thinking. I actually think that they were thinking the penalty would have been harsher by the mediator. And since it's a no, now let's go and see if we can get a harsher penalty. I mean, I stand by. I still say that I hope Deshaun Watson gets himself together, man. I really hope, I hope he gets some help for whatever things he's going through. And finally, everybody can get back to football. They went from the Houston Texans organization out to Cleveland, and but Cleveland put themselves in by paying them all that money to play. So sometimes you get back what you put. Like, they got to deal with it, but that whole going to the appeals process and still making it a longer wait. I guess for us spectators, it's grueling, but I'm sure Deshaun Watson, he gets to work with his team. He gets to play. He gets to do what he's paid to do. Like you said, he gets to do his job. So I guess that's good in one respect. But the other thing is if you're Cleveland, why though? Why? I mean, I just don't understand it. Why? I mean,
truly,
I think we started. I think we started sending a message that talent trumps even personal and moral decisions sometimes. I mean, that's all I see from this whole thing. The whole Deshaun Watson thing, all I see is that his talent means much more than, and it makes you wonder if he had if this was an attempted murder charge or anything like that, would it still be the same? I mean, you got to think. Vic did time for dogfighting, bro. Dogs. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, Dad.
He did time for dogs. Like, the NFL backed away from him. Atlanta took their money back and all that stuff. And this guy gets more money. I don't even know how you can explain that.
that's true.
You really can't. You can't explain that. That makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
So of course, like you said, getting back into that, in which he's like CC just said, into the NFL, a lot of topic as we get ready to get further and further into the season. Like I said, tomorrow starts week 2, in which we'll cover a couple of games that start out tomorrow, and then so on and so forth in first formation fashion. I ask y'all, like, going into it, who do y'all see as the division champions for each division going forward? Like, who walks away with the division championship? Of course, I'm very sure Bishop will think Eagles, which makes this interesting because CC and Bishop are in the same division. So, of course, that's going to be a conversation. But who do you all feel see for each division coming out on top when you go top to bottom as being champions? I mean, not champions, becoming division champions.
Where do you want to start? Let's start with the division everybody talking about, huh? AFC West. They said that the Chiefs are going to be dethroned. I think the Chiefs are still going to win that division.
And it's crazy you say that, right? Because of course Trey, he doesn't feel that way. He feels like because of the cheetah being gone, because of Patrick Mahomes doesn't have his number one wide receiver, even though Juju Smith-Schuster just made it over there, he still has Kelsey. He still has, a plethora of weapons out there in Kansas City. I do feel like Kansas City is still going to be a force, in my opinion. So yeah, if we start with that division, Kansas
Yeah,
City, yeah, Kansas City is definitely a threat. Yeah, definitely a threat. I could see Kansas City coming out. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is up to prove a lot to all the naysayers because of the fact that the cheetah is gone. Tyreek Hill is out in Miami now. So I feel like he has a huge um chip on his shoulder to prove that it wasn't just, Tyreek Hill. It was him and being
yeah,
Patrick
and
Mahomes that he got something to
I,
show.
I just look at that division and I see Mahomes, but I also see the coach. I think
Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid's the best coach in that division.
Right. Yeah, I can agree to that, man. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then who you see coming out of the AFC?
Uh, which one? The
Who do you
AFC West.
yeah, yeah, who do you have coming out the other division? You heard me, CC? Can you hear me, CC?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, you're talking the AFC North, right?
Right.
I think I think Baltimore is going to come out if Lamar Jackson plays and he stays healthy all season. That's Baltimore's division.
Ooh, so you got Baltimore coming out of the AFC North, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Mm, Oh, that's a hard one, man. Let's the AFC Baltimore. You know what? I think you know what I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, man. I think a lot of people sleeping on Cincinnati. A lot of people think, and again, that's Trey again. I think Cincinnati and Burrow and Chase is gonna do their thing again. So I'm going with Cincinnati out of the AFC North. I know you picked, like you said, you picked Kansas City out the AFC West. AFC North, I'm going Cincinnati. Who you got it coming out
Okay.
of the? Who you got it coming out of AFC East?
The AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I mean it. Uh, Buffalo. I'm going to say Buffalo barely though. I think the Patriots are going to get them a run for their money this year.
Run. Okay, you feel like the Patriots gonna give them a run? Yeah, I totally gotta agree with you. It's even been talks that Buffalo may be trying to acquire OBJ. It's been talks that
Mm.
Buffalo may be trying to acquire OBJ. If Buffalo gets OBJ, yes, it is definitely gonna be Buffalo without question if OBJ comes back
Oh,
to his normal form. But even without OBJ, I still got Buffalo coming out of the AFC East. But if you ask Trey, even though we don't have Trey on here right now, if you ask Trey, he sees it as Miami because he feels like Tua and Tyreek is gonna make a great difference or a great tandem out there in Miami. But I definitely feel like Buffalo is that team. I put like you. I'm like Buffalo, then I like New England, and then I like Miami, and then the Jets. But yeah, I got Buffalo coming out of the AFC East as well. AFC South, who do you got? Oh, I'm sorry, we got other people saying.
AFC
Go ahead.
AFC South.
Uh-huh.
Let's go AFC South. Let's go Tennessee.
The
Um,
Titans.
yeah, I
Okay.
think they're the strongest team. Yeah, the Titans, strongest team in that division.
So check it, right? I'm gonna disagree with you, and just check me out on this one, right? I know what Tennessee has to bring Tannehill. I know what they got to bring off, and of course they got Derrick Henry, but they lost AJ Brown, which went over to my beloved Eagles. But I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, and people probably don't believe me. And I've been saying this since right. I've been saying this leading up to the season. Y'all sleeping on them Jaguars, bro. I think Trevor Lawrence is about to have a season that no one expected him to have. Trevor Lawrence, sunshine, I feel is about to do some things out there in the AFC South. So I'm going to pick. I'm gonna pick a
so,
sleeper team, and I'm
you
picking
think
Jacksonville.
you think Peterson's gonna make them that tough already?
Yes, I think Doug. Look what he did
You
in
think Peterson's
Philly.
gonna make them that tough? Oh,
Look what he did in Philly. He took him 2 years, 2-3 years to get out there, and he win a Super
yeah,
Bowl.
but
I think people sleeping because I really feel like Trevor Lawrence is way better than what he's shown. I do believe Urban Meyer was a huge mistake for them as a coaching staff, excuse me. And so I definitely feel like um um Jacksonville is going to be forced to be reckoned with out there in the AFC South. So I'm definitely going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars as to be the team to beat out there in the AFC South, with Tennessee close second. Close, I mean, Tennessee is right there. Don't get me wrong.
okay.
Tennessee is right there, but I'm definitely going to pick Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, let's go to the NFC division, and let's start with the NFC North.
The NFC North, that's the Packers division. They own that division.
No, you giving it to the Packers.
They own it. It's the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Kirk Cousins would disagree out there in Minnesota, but yeah, with Aaron Rodgers, and again, of course, if you ask Trey, I wish Trey was here because Trey is not here, but again, if you ask Trey, he feels as though Green Bay is gonna falter because Devontae Adams isn't there, so he feels like Aaron Rodgers doesn't have Devontae to throw to, so he feels they're gonna falter. But he still has a great deal of wide receiving core that's more than capable of doing what they need to do out there in Green Bay. And then again, as you know,
And
they have Aaron Rodgers, that bad man, as Stephen A would say, out there. So I gotta agree with you. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. All right. What about the NFC South?
the NFC South. Oh man, Tampa Bay is going to win that division.
Okay.
The Saints, that defense though, but yeah, they may lose the head-to-heads to the Saints, but they'll win that division overall.
Okay. So the thing about this, right? Again, Trey just left at the wrong time because again, Trey does not believe in Tom the Goat Brady. He feels like Tom the Goat Brady has fell off. He feels like his time is up. He feels as though Tom Brady should not be playing the game anymore. However, I totally disagree with him. I totally feel as though Tom Brady, until I can see a true decline in his play, there's no way I'm betting against Tom Brady in any day of the week, especially twice on Sunday. So I have to agree with Tom. I have to agree with you, Tampa Bay. We do know what New Orleans has to offer with Jameis Winston. But I did just see earlier that Jameis Winston went down in practice with an ankle injury, I want to say. So the thing about the Saints is, can they stay healthy in regards to Jameis Winston? And can Jameis Winston come into this season like he came into last season, strong and heavy and playing well for the Saints prior to his injury? Is the key for the Saints to be successful. So, but even still, I do agree with you. I do go with Tampa Bay. And then we know the Carolina Panthers, they're still uproar and trying to figure out if it's going to be Sam Darnold or if it's going to be Baker Mayfield with the slight edge right now. But the coach said he's not picking who the number QB1 is until the preseason game between the New England Patriots. So therefore,
and that's why I'm not picking the Panthers to win anything right there, Bishop. That's why, right there. I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan.
Right.
If this coach you got Baker Mayfield in a battle with Sam Darnold, that doesn't even make sense. And you're saying that you should have come out and said, Baker's my hero. Let's go. Period.
Right.
That's why they won't go anywhere.
So you basically feel like the Panthers organization is failing Baker as a player by not announcing who the starter should be right now already, is what you're saying?
Right, he should be the starter. Like, hey, we made the moves to get you,
Exactly.
and now we're gonna put you in the quarterback battle. No, you're a starter until proven otherwise. Like, if anything, Sam Darnold should be learn how to work that little headset or whatever the call plays from the sideline or whatever
Right.
the backup quarterbacks do these days, man.
Right.
For real, it's like, what
Right.
an insult. Like, that was my point yesterday. What does it say about Baker's career if he doesn't beat out Sam Darnold on a Panthers team that a coach is clearly confused?
Right, especially being that he had Sam Darnold all last season. So why do you not know? Like, why did you even pick up Baker if you wasn't planning to have Baker start? Because you know what Sam Darnold brings to the table. You had him all last season. So why now? Why? Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Really, Eric Small, you feel like the Vikings will win the North, the AFC North over the Green Bay Packers? Ooh,
Oh,
boy.
wow.
You got a lot of Kirk over there. You talk about how you like that, Kirk. I feel you. You over there. You really feeling Kirk over there. I'm ready for the NFL. I am too, Leslie. I'm so ready. And then of course we know the NFC's we know the Atlanta Falcons, they got what's his name? They got rid of Mariota because they got rid of Rivers and Marcus. We ain't seen Marcus and I don't know how long. I think he had a couple of plays out there in what Raider Nation wasn't he with the Raiders last? I think he was with the Raiders last week, wasn't he?
I think so.
I know
I like Pitts. I like Pitts on
Pitts is nice. Yes, Pitts is nice. He's nice. And if Mariota can figure out a way to get the ball to him, Pitts is gonna be that dude, especially fantasy wise. Pitts is gonna be that dude. I'm telling y'all now. That's my team. What do you say? That's my team. We go 1-1 with them every year. Oh, Eric talking. Oh, he talking about the Vikings. Oh, that's why. So the Vikings is your team, and you go 1-1. Okay, I can see that. Vikings do give Green Bay some problems here and there, but I don't know if they're gonna.
They don't win the division.
Yeah,
and they don't make the playoffs consistently.
That part. And then now, CC, let's go over here to the NFC West. Who do you have coming out winning that NFC West?
The West? Ooh. That's the Cardinals, Rams, and the 49ers.
Yes. That part.
I'm going to go this year. I'm going to say the Rams are going to win that division again.
Okay. Now, we know if Trey was here. You know, if Trey was here, he would definitely disagree with you because he was definitely 49ers and Trey Lance to take over that division and win that division. But like he said, that's a hard division because you got three powerhouses. We know Seattle, they got rid of Russell, so that's definitely not what's going to be out there. But that's a hard one. But it's hard to go against the Super Bowl champions, man. It's hard to go against the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford out there, you know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp, the Triple Crown winner. It's hard to go against LA Rams. I really feel like it's real hard. And now we know what Kyler Murray is bringing to the Arizona Cardinals, but we know Hopkins is out for at least 6 games. He's suspended. Stuff like that. And then, he right now, I don't even think Kyler Murray's playing because he caught COVID. So he was unable to practice. He's been unable to practice for the past few days because of catching COVID. So, but that's nothing. That don't mean nothing right now because we still got a whole season to play. And I'm sure he'll be back by the time game 1, if not first preseason game. So, but yeah, Matthew Stafford and them Rams, man, it's hard to pick against them, man, because they are a tough team. They are real tough. So I'm agree with you on that there, CC. I'm gonna take the Rams too. And last but not least, NFC.
Here we go.
Yeah, buddy. We got that NFC East. We know who's gonna be in last, but who's gonna be in first in the NFC East? I don't know if we lost CC. Oh, go ahead, CC. Did you say something? If you did, we missed it.
Right. That's gonna be, that's another tough one because it comes down to the same two teams, Cowboys and
Every
Eagles.
yeah,
Hold on, what was
absolutely.
that? Wrong time. I cut out at the wrong time. Hello?
Yeah, you hear? No, I hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Cowboys. Barely though. It won't be. It'll come down like it always does to like the last game of the year or something.
Right.
I just think we're gonna be more ready this year. I think you guys got a little bit of work to do with Jalen Hurts prove to make that's gonna play in our favor a little bit.
So I hear what CC's saying, y'all. I get it. I totally understand where CC's coming from. However, the problem with the Cowboys already, which is huge, they already got hit injuries in the wide receiver position, which is beneficial to the Philadelphia Eagles. We've picked up AJ Brown. We already had Devontae Smith out there. We got Quez Watkins as the third wide receiver. And then, of course, we got, Dallas Goedert. You know what I'm saying? We got Miles Sanders. I mean, our defense has picked up. We got Jordan Davis. We got Nakobe Dean. I just need, and of course, y'all gonna say, oh, yeah, Bishop only picking the Eagles because he biased. That's his squad. But I'm being completely honest, man. Right now, the team, like, we have the better team between us and the Cowboys. In my personal opinion, we have the better team with all the weapons that we acquired during the. Yeah, I'm just being because, like I said, when it comes to the Cowboys, CC, y'all have lost some key receivers because of injuries already. Y'all already didn't y'all traded off one of your receivers. Y'all traded off what's his name to y'all let him go. So I just don't know, and I don't think y'all really truly know as Cowboys who y'all number one receiver is. Who's y'all number one receiver, CC, in your opinion?
It's gonna be Lamb.
So that's why I like you, CC. That's why I like you, because if you ask anybody else, they're gonna say it's Gallup, but it is Lamb. In my opinion, I feel like it's CD.
Oh, you broke up. Yeah, Lamb's gonna be number one.
Yeah, no, yeah, and like I said, that's why I fool with you, CC, because everybody else would say Michael Gallup, but I truly believe it's Lamb. Lamb, without question, is the number one receiver out there in Dallas. And they should, from what I've seen, they should, from what I've seen from the practice tapes and videos that they've been showing, he's out there balling. Lamb is balling right now in practice. So, I totally agree. That Lamb is the number one, but I do feel like that y'all hurting in the wide receiver position because of injuries already. Currently, doesn't mean that y'all won't bounce back from those injuries. I know that there was talk as well. Some people feel like Dallas, and I would love to hear your take on this, CC. A lot of people feel like Dallas should try and go get OBJ. They feel like that should be someone that Dallas should try to inquire. What are your thoughts?
I think he made like a lot of highlights against Dallas, and we know how Jerry Jones loves to get those people that embarrass Dallas. He let him put them in a Dallas Cowboy uniform. So I think it'll be a good move.
Yeah, yeah. They have been talking about it. That was something that matter of fact, a lot of analysts have actually mentioned that they should. That's a player that they should definitely consider trying to go get. To try and go get for the Cowboys, being that they have so many injuries in the wide receiver position. But of course I expected CC to pick Dallas, and of course I'm sure y'all and he expected me to pick Philly, but that's what it is. So right. CC in the NFC conference, who's coming out of the NFC conference on top?
Well, in my mind, the NFC Championship game should probably look something like Tampa Bay versus whoever. You know,
Okay. He said Tampa Bay versus whoever.
and
Okay.
I think I think it'll be Tampa Bay versus whoever. I'm gonna say Tampa. I'm gonna say Tom gonna do it again, man. Tom
Okay.
coming out of the NFC.
Okay. Eric Small says it's the Vikings and the Bucks. Of course, Eric's gonna say the Vikings because he's a Vikings fan. Lamb is that dude. Appreciate you, Eric. Definitely agree with you. So I'm agree with you halfway on that. I'm gonna pick the Tampa Bay Bucks to be in the NFC championship game versus my beloved Philadelphia Eagles, and I feel like we're gonna get payback. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get payback, and we're gonna beat them Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be in the Super Bowl. Don't black out on me. Don't black out on me. CC, I mean, come on, man. I come on, man. I mean, don't black out on me. Don't black out. You blacked out on me. Don't black out on me. But yeah, that's what I got. And I got the Philadelphia Eagles. People are sleeping on my Eagles, man. We have a plethora of weapons over there, and I feel like we're gonna come out of the NFC, representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Who do you guys see coming out the AFC conference? As who are the two teams you see as going to the AFC championship game?
I see the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, with who coming out on top?
And I see the Kansas City Chiefs winning. I see them winning. I see another fantastic game like the Buffalo and Kansas City game. But I see Mahomes going to another Super Bowl.
Ooh.
But that'll make his third in 4 years or something like that.
Yeah, that will make his third. Yeah. Ooh, boy, that's a bold prediction right there, bro. I'm agree with you halfway again. I'm giving Kansas City the nod to make it to the AFC championship game, but it won't be versus the Baltimore Ravens. I feel it'll be against the Buffalo Bills. I feel like it will be the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC championship game. And guess who I got? Bills and Vikings. I got, you talk about the Super Bowl, Eric. You got Bills and Vikings Super Bowl. I got the Bills beating Kansas City. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills beat Kansas City in the AFC championship game. I got the Bills in Kansas City battling. Yes, I do. I do. And I got the Bills, Buffalo, beating Kansas City out in the AFC championship game. So that means the Super Bowl for me and for you, the Super Bowl would be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for me, it would be the Buffalo Bills versus my beloved Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Really?
I'm just saying. That's how I see it. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I think that's the Super Bowl to see. Either one of them would be a great Super Bowl. I think, to be honest with you, I think
Buffalo. I can see that, but come on, the Eagles. That's a stretch, man. Come on, that's a stretch.
Ooh, really? I don't know why.
That would be like me saying the Cowboys. Come on, man. Like realistically, come on.
The reason why, y'all really have to pay attention of who we picked up during the draft and all these key players we picked up in key positions. Like we might have.
Really think y'all Super?
Yes.
You really think y'all Super Bowl contenders?
You know what? I really do, because I feel like, see, what a lot of people fail to realize. You know, Carson Wentz took Philadelphia to the Super Bowl his second season. Why Jalen Hurts can't do the same thing? His second season. This is my thing.
I didn't say.
Well, why can't he? And with better receivers. He has better receivers than when Carson Wentz was there. He has two better receivers. Go ahead. I'm listening.
But you got a different coach. You know.
Right.
You got to. It's not Peterson. Like if you were talking Peterson right now, then I would probably agree with you. But I would probably say, yeah, they got a chance, but I don't see it happening with what's his name. Sriracha, what's
Nick
his name?
Sirianni. Nick Sirianni. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
How you say our defense isn't there, Eric Small? How do you feel like that? We just picked up N'Kobe Dean. We picked up Jordan Davis. We got Darius Slay. We still got all our other ones from our other defensive players and Brandon Graham. We still got Fletcher Cox. Like, I'm missing it. I'm missing it, bro. Like, we still have a defense. We still have a defense, bro. I think that's why I think everybody underestimates Philadelphia, and a lot of people don't believe in Jalen Hurts, and I feel like that's gonna be our catapult to get us where we need to go. I really do believe that. I feel like
Bishop, I can't wait to get you on the Die Hard fan. You gotta come, man. I gotta get you on there.
I'm there, bro. You're too easy.
I'm saying, let's make that happen like next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Okay. Let's make that happen.
I'm
next
there,
Wednesday, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Central. Yeah, 7 o'clock Central. 7 p.m. Central.
Okay, matter of fact, go ahead and give me the go ahead and give them the spill, CC, because we about out of time. So go ahead and give them the spill. Let them know where they can catch you at, CC.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, every Wednesday, Die Hard Fan Sports Show, Facebook Live, YouTube. Check me out, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's what's up, man. We definitely appreciate CC. Unfortunately, my co-host Savvy Trey had to jump off the feed or whatever. But we really appreciate y'all tuning in to First Formation, which is every Monday through Friday, 0900 to 1100 hours, and for you civilian personnel, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Without all of you, First Formation is nothing. Eric Smalls, to the LaDonnas, to the Leslies, to the Rons, all of y'all, the Speakeasy. We really appreciate Stanton. We really Anthony, AP. We really Wayne. We appreciate all of y'all, man, for coming on here and tuning in to us every day, Monday through Friday. It is not First Formation without y'all. Be sure if you have not signed up for the first inaugural First Formation fantasy football, be sure to sign up, man. As you know, we got a couple of preseason games tomorrow. I believe the Ravens play tomorrow, as well as the Patriots play tomorrow. So we got a couple of preseason games tomorrow. So be sure we're gonna definitely be able to talk about those two games that's coming up for our preseason. Definitely appreciate you, Eric Small. Add me one day. We definitely will. Let us know when you're available. We love to have people who watch the show to come on the show and talk sports with us any day of the week, man. So be sure to stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of our social media sites, man. We definitely thank y'all so much. And once again, it has been a great show. We will holla at y'all tomorrow, same time, same bad channel. Y'all have a great hump day. And y'all be safe. It's your boy Sean, aka Bishop. Y'all. Thank you. CC again. We're gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be easy. 505 Military Fraternity Incorporated. We'll holler at. Peace.
Have a good one. All right.